Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead, the movie we need but may never ever get. So we're going to talk about some of the movie storylines because I know the rumors are out there. Rick Andrew Lincoln has been spotted leaving his family to go do a little bit of filming in California. So pretty excited about all the news that's going to be surrounding the show. And we want to kind of delve into it a little bit more and see what all is potentially going to happen and what we think could happen. You know, there's a lot of tie-ins to the show. Are we going to get all of our questions answered? Do we need a few more crossovers? But want to approach that with each and every one of you this morning. It's not going to be a super strong song. I can't say it, a super long stream because we streamed for 4 hours last night with Play Dead Live. You know when you're slurring in the first 30 seconds of your stream, it's going to be a long day. But let me give a shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for each and every one that is up on that list. You can see some longtime Patreons. But we're just really, really fortunate to have the group that we have. So thank you, everyone that is here and part of the Army, part of the PDL sponsors. One more quick announcement. The PDL sponsors in the top right-hand corner that brought you that 4-hour stream last night with Play Dead Live. We've got one more day that we're going to be adding sponsorships for the first PDL Players Pack that is due to ship out in March. So if you had a good time doing Play Dead Live last night and you want to get more involved in the game, there's a sponsorship option. There's going to be trading cards. There's going to be character record sheets to keep up with all the stuff that goes on. So we're just really developing this game. It's going to be a whole lot of fun over the next year or so. And I could talk about Play Dead Live all day, but because we talked about it all night last night. But really, I want to keep this a little bit more focused on the movie. We're not even doing pack openings today. We're going to save those for the streams during the week. So you guys see I have a certain cast of characters up there on the screen, and it is with full intent. And I want to get your ideas because Jeffrey Dean Morgan tweeted out that like, hey, we need a Negan movie, and I got to thinking about it a little bit, and thought that I think a Negan movie would be the worst idea that The Walking Dead could ever do. Now, if you had like a Negan miniseries on Netflix or something along those lines, you know, that I would tune in and watch. But if you're talking about something that's going to tell the story of Negan and the ruthless nature, I think we're going to be hard-pressed just to, from a viewer standpoint, I don't know there's going to be a whole lot of new viewers that are going to go out just to see Andrew Lincoln unless they really just knock it out of the park. But the questions that we still have, would it be beneficial in the future to bring over, let's say, a Norman Reedus? I mean, I don't think Michonne is going to cross. Well, I'm using the word think because it's totally speculation at this point. If the movie starts and it starts basically 7 years to where we are right now on the television show, then we know there's no Michonne. We know there's the only crossover characters that could be there are Heath and Jadis. Not even Morgan and Dwight could make that crossover. Now, when you start talking about sequels, then, and depending on how much they time skip, yeah, certainly you could have Norman Reedus. You could have Denai. And you could also have Lenny. I mean, you could have characters from the shows cross over, but how much of the story do you guys really expect to be told? And let me kind of put you on the spot here from a fan's perspective. Are you guys expecting more or looking more forward to filling in the blanks for where Rick's been and what he's been doing? Or are you looking more toward action adventure and it doesn't really matter where he's been because you want to see a new storyline? Well, Sherilyn, speculative to a degree because it doesn't make a lot of sense for a Walking Dead movie to start and then all of a sudden just fast forward 7 or 8 years. I mean, they could, but with that amount of questions, I don't know that that's going to resonate super. Look, I'm not saying there's not other movies out there that haven't had time skips and flashbacks, but 7 years worth of let's go from there to where we are right now, it just seems like there's a lot of story that the fans are still going to be hungry for. But you also have to You got to walk that line a little bit carefully, because if you do dwell on too much of it, it's just going to be a bogged down Walking Dead. It's going to be a total extension of the television show. So Ron's thinking more of an action in a sequel. See, Julie J, I agree with you. Well, I'm a Rick Grimes fan, but I'm going to focus on the word big. Like, Julie J says I was never that big of a Rick Grimes fan. I'm probably right there with you. Like, I like Rick. I never saw Rick as the only reason why I tuned in to watch the show. And now, in contrast, there are a lot of people on our channel, in our streams. It doesn't matter what it is with Rick, with Andy Lincoln. They live and die with Andy Lincoln. They're absolutely crushed that he's not on the television show. So you kind of got both perspectives. But to the fans out there, kind of like, well, I mean, look at some of the people that typed. Lynn Nesvik, same. Julie J, a few other people. If we're only going to the movies to see Rick Grimes, then it's not going to have the same value for every fan. So that's kind of where I think the challenge is going to be for the writers and the directors. Can they make this something different, keeping the Walking Dead roots? And let's brainstorm for a minute. What other movies can you think of that maybe started out as either, maybe a vague comic book character or maybe a TV show, and then went to the big screen? What's a good comparison that we could compare that to? I was thinking like some of the more recent ones, like the Venom comic character to a Tom Hardy. There's similarities, but you get a little bit. That was kind of advanced. You had to tell the story relatively quickly. And are the writers bold enough just to say, we're going to throw Rick Grimes out there and just introduce him to a whole new audience, and this is going to be some badass dude that's out there? Or do they kind of stick to the roots a little bit for those of us that are going to go regardless, and we're going to say like, okay, we need more story. What happened to him when he was taken captive? How did he heal? All right, who's that person? If somebody doesn't know the Walking Dead history, that transition is going to be a very tough transition. Well, in The Flash, we've seen The Flash in, and I guess movies. We've seen The Flash in a TV show. We've seen The Flash in comics. And Ben, see, I agree with that. Has it ever really been done like this before? And these are all great examples, but I can't think of a situation where you had this TV legend. Maybe this one. What about like the $6 Million Man? Would that be a good example? Yeah, but Brat, the Joker, not really a TV legend, more of a kind of a comic-y Saturday morning Batman, villain type of thing. They don't always have to be good examples. I'm not looking for, the success ones, but let's take one, for example, and compare it to, say, the $6 Million Man, right? TV show, following, popularity, and then you transition that to a movie type format, and it's not really successful. It's not really captivating a brand new audience. So, I see this as a big, big challenge, and I have since the movie. Now, as a fan, I'm excited about it. Yeah, but here's the difference, and, to some of you. So, the Joker's not really a good comparison, because the Joker is a comic to a cartoon character, a little bit of the Joker, maybe on on the TV show, with the old Batman and some of the villains with the Penguin. So maybe to a degree and into the big screen. But one could argue the Joker on the Batman, the old 60s television shows was not Rick Grimes. So it has certainly followed that path, but not to the degree of legendary hero of Rick Grimes. And what I'm looking for is it would have to be somebody like, I've been Sherlock Holmes, maybe. Kel, I think that's a good example. So the Sherlock Holmes franchise, good TV, into a movie, a couple good movies, and then back to television again. So you went from television to movie back to a different spin-off TV series. So, yeah, I mean, that might be one of the better examples, but that's more mystery. It's not kind of your action and adventure type of character. So there's a niche group going to see that. So let me ask a follow-up question while you're thinking about that. And if anybody can think about it, leave it in chat because I want to find a good comparison. Breaking Bad movie. Or, hey, maybe a situation where it has not been yet done. You guys love you some Joker. I don't disagree. So I'm going to put this question out there for the group. Will non-Walking Dead fans accept Andrew Lincoln as an action hero? It's going to be hard for you to answer because everybody here is a Walking Dead fan. It's the toughest thing to do is to separate yourself from the show that you really, really love. So, will non-Walking Dead fans accept Andrew Lincoln as an action hero? Okay. If Andrew Lincoln was an Avenger, which Avenger would Andrew Lincoln be? It is. It's a very interesting question. And some people are saying no. E-Beach, good morning, Eric. Good to see you. Thanks for being here bright and early, my man. So, my personal opinion. Ooh, now hold on. I love that comparison. Catface, I think that is a great comparison. I accepted Bruce Willis. Well, I think it's backwards. Not I accepted Bruce Willis in Moonlighting after Die Hard. Accepted Bruce Willis in Die Hard after Moonlighting. But I think that's a great example. Bruce Willis, Andrew Lincoln might be the Bruce Willis of TV to big screen. Because here's why I say that. All right, Bruce Willis was kind of drama comedy. Andrew Lincoln is drama television. But what action movies has Andrew Lincoln done that the worldwide audiences went in and say, "Oh, I can't wait to see Andrew Lincoln in his next action movie"? You got Stallone, you got Schwarzenegger, you got The Rock, you got Jason Statham. I mean, even to a degree, you had Mark Wahlberg. I mean, you got people out there. But when you think like Andrew Lincoln, I'm like, So, let me ask this. Did the writers make a mistake by not making it the Norman Reedus movie? Would a Norman Reedus action movie be more widely accepted than an Andrew Lincoln action movie? Would it be more believable for Daryl Dixon to be going around taking out people with the Commonwealth than Andy Lincoln, than Rick Grimes? That seems a quicker sell, right? Well, and Julie J., I think that's assuming that this is about action. But I don't know about a drama trilogy about the Commonwealth. And this is where I'm kind of in that gray area, right? If you're going the movie totally toward action, then Daryl is a pretty good sell. Rick is a stretch. Because fans that watch The Walking Dead already understand, we all know Rick's flaws, and we accept Rick's flaws. To new fans, you're going to have to rebuild him, pun intended, kind of like the $6 million man, right? We can make him stronger. We can make him shoot straighter. We can make him more ruthless. We can make him not go back and look for his family. I mean, we can change all these things about Rick Grimes and make it about his path to save the world or whatever he's going to do. Or we can make it a drama about The Walking Dead and answering stories from the past. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think that will get high ratings. I don't think it'll drive new viewers to watch. I don't think that the story is going to be that intriguing if they go straight drama and answer all of our questions. And I think it's going to fail. I know there's silence with that. Because this movie, if you're going to go big, and I'm not going to say, well, actually I am going to say, it would be arrogant for the writers to think that non-Walking Dead fans are going to go pay to see a movie when they don't even turn on the television to watch it on TV. Would you agree with that statement? That it would be presumptuous and arrogant to say, just because we put it on the screen, those people that aren't watching every Sunday, that aren't reading the comics, that aren't showing up to talk about it, that aren't, here 7 days a week, digging it down, coming up with theories, that all of a sudden they're going to go buy a bucket of popcorn and pay $40 for a 2-ticket movie trip when they don't even have the time to do it on a Sunday night. So that's all the warning sign that you need to say they can't do it that way. This has to be different. And if it has to be different, you've got a couple choices. You have to reboot Rick. You got to change the storyline to a degree. You can't really dwell on all these questions that we want answered. You can't get tricked into that. And I am as big a fan as anybody in here. And those of you that have watched my streams, and I'm speaking from my perspective. I know many of you are going to say Carl, but not the Carl Grimes. From those of you that have watched my videos for years, what have I said is the biggest mistake The Walking Dead has ever made? And I identify it as a mistake. Love the show. I love that they entertain us. But the show makes mistakes. And I'm going to get to these super chats in 1 second. In my mind, I said it can't be Carl, the greatest mistake that The Walking Dead has ever made, and it ties into, some people said it's the cliffhanger. Some people said it was killing Glenn and Abraham, I've said it is the ruthless nature of what they had Negan do that it caused a lot of future stories for them, including the Carl. But it all started with The Walking Dead caving in to having to kill Abraham for effect and killing Glenn for the comic fans. They catered to the comic fans. They caved in and had to drive that storyline, and they killed them both. So the reason I bring this up as a reference is because if they cave in to the hardcore fans, which is us, saying, hey, you got to tell us what happened in this story, and it drags out, they're going to lose future viewers. So taking care of the core group, which is us, is going to isolate them from future people that they're going to need to start watching the movies. Or it's going to be a one-and-done movie. Catface Killer. It might be very mixed reviews, like when Robin Williams did 1 Hour Photo. Catface Killer, I do think it'll be mixed reviews because I think some people, probably me, we're going to watch it and we're going to be like, oh my God, it was the greatest movie ever. But the way you really get an idea of the movie is to go out there and ask non-Walking Dead fans what they thought about it. Was it confusing? Would they watch it again? Did it tell a good story? We got another super chat. Ben Stevenson says, if the trailer doesn't start with "in a world," I'll be upset. Ben, you have low expectations. That's all you have to do. Hopefully they're watching and they'll say, in a world where evil and death is just around the corner, one man rises above the rest, forced to leave his family in a time of darkness and desperation. Rick Grimes rises from the ashes, machine guns in hand, and takes down all the enemy. There you go, Ben. There's your intro. I'll give you that intro, and then, hey, you pay $20, go in, watch the movie. Actually, a ticket's much more than $20. It's trailer movie voice. Hey, put in a good word for me. Maybe I can get the trailer movie voiceover. You guys will know me as the voiceover guy. No, in all seriousness, though, the reason I'm giving you all these possibilities is because if they can get us past the first one, and it's entertaining and enjoyment, and then we get to the second and third one, at that point, you can draw in the other characters. So if the first one doesn't flop, and the fans and the new viewers watch it, well, then you can probably have time skipped enough that you bring in Michonne, or you bring in Norman, or maybe even bring in Negan and other characters. So I'm all for kind of the Walking Dead lore being a part of the movie while creating new characters, but you just can't go out of the gates, especially when you know that this takes place 7 years earlier, and start throwing characters out there that are fighting a Whisperer War. And hey, I think they can do some things. That's a big question for me. So, 7 years have passed, and we assume that Rick and the Commonwealth are still alive at this point. But this group that Jadis was with, they had helicopter landing spots. They were watching them. Isn't it a little weird that they don't have some intel? Like Jadis has, I'm sorry, not Jadis. Excuse me. Alpha has intel. Alpha sent Dante in. She's got intel. So you're telling me the Commonwealth doesn't have intel on a territory where they just took people from? This was Jadis's backyard. This is where they took Heath. This is where they took Rick. They don't have some eyes on the ground, or they don't know that there's these people walking around killing people and putting their heads on pikes. Not using the buzzword plot hole, but there's some curiosity to me that Alpha can be on the ground and can know all this stuff, but the Commonwealth, who's flying around in helicopters, the other thing is we appear to not be seeing a whole lot of helicopters lately. But we know. So this is another question, and we can talk about this during the week. So you guys saw The World Beyond, right? How many people noticed that sweet, sweet helicopter they had from World Beyond? It wasn't the old clunky green one they had. This is like a aerodynamic, super sleek black helicopter that's out there. So I'm just curious. We haven't seen any clunky green helicopters fly over, and we haven't seen one of these new sleek helicopters fly over. We see a satellite. So a satellite crashes, but I got to think at least once or twice. There's a military base on an island. You're going to see somebody fly over, and why all of a sudden did the Commonwealth just stop needing A's and B's? There's still A's and B's out there. Just some questions. But I ask these questions in part because I don't know that I want the answer to the question, because I want it to be a mercenary action adventure, firing, shooting, gunning stuff, dropping. Rick going all across the country. So, hey, maybe Rick's got some things going on the West Coast, literally and in the movie. They got him as like a mercenary. He can't go back to his family, and instead of going east and checking on those people. But it does just seem a little bit odd to me that they're not keeping closer tabs. And maybe that'll be answered in the movie. But DeMilo Young, super sticker. Thank you so much, DeMilo. Appreciate that. If you guys don't know what super stickers are, they are right down there. And no hype stickers today because we're not doing any pack openings. We'll do some. We'll be back tomorrow night. So I said I want to keep this relatively quick because there's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of good chat. Thanks for getting your conversations included in this video. Love hanging out with you guys, especially on a Saturday morning. A lot of people have been messaging me, and I've seen some of the chat where you guys are saying you had a great time in Play Dead Live last night. Was anybody here for the whole 4 hours last night in Play Dead Live? And if you were, give me a couple of your thoughts. What did you guys think about our game, our show, our movie? Because Play Dead Live is a combination of all of those things. I thought it had some real amazing twists last night. I think you guys played your character to perfection. Great sportsmanship. Just incredible. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. It was good teamwork. The people that won, they were happy they won. The people that lost were good sports about it. So just a great group of people, and I appreciate hanging out with you guys. So there we go. If you missed it, go back and watch the stream from last night. We had a great time, and I'm not gonna give you the spoiler, but there were some interesting things that happened to turn the tide at the very end. It was one of our best yet. So hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. It's a Saturday morning. We are going to be talking about the movie, sporadically over the next couple of months. If you have some ideas that you want included, send them to me, post them on our Facebook fan page, or by all means, chat them and get them included in this video. Even if I don't get a chance to read your comment, other people are reading your comment, people that are here interacting live and people that watch the playback. So I'm going to ask each of you, do me a big favor, hit the like button if you like what we do. If you don't like our videos and you don't like hanging out with us, hit the dislike button and just send me a little bit of feedback and say, hey, Kills, I used to love your channel when you did pack openings and played all these games and gave tutorials, but I'm not sure about the game. I'm not sure about, the news, the conversations. All good. Just let us know what you like and what you don't like, but, we're definitely here for you. Tomorrow night, we'll be here at 8 o'clock. We are not shutting down our Sundays. We will not shut that Sunday down. No exceptions. We will be here talking about a Walking Dead topic at 8 o'clock. So join us, hang out with us. Then on Monday night, we're going to be doing Mashup Mondays. That is going to be our trivia challenge. We had a great time doing trivia last week. Random Things is on Tuesday. We may take Wednesday off. That is still open for next week because it's been like 2 weeks since It'll be 2 weeks and I had a day off, so I'm not sure about Wednesday. Wednesday's open. Thursday we'll be doing bold predictions, and Friday we'll be doing Freestyle Friday. And as Ocean Man just mentioned a second ago, we're going to be doing a Storm the Castle. And that is going to be all of you just live action. We're going to have hundreds of people literally playing Play Dead Live all at the same time. So it is going to be madness. Some people are going to be eliminated very early, but it's all in good spirit of the game. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will see each of you hopefully tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It's going to be one of our bigger streams during the week. And if you haven't had a chance to catch up on all the streams previously during the week, I would say this overall was one of our most fun, most interactive weeks that we've ever had. Also, a real quick special shout out because by tomorrow we are going to be adding our 2 super fans for the month of December. That is going to be Kimberly M. and Crystal Singer Chick Gore. We're going to be back on schedule with that. We'll have our Patreon list updated. But a 15-second recap of what happened during the week. We added a trivia contest. We were giving away dead dimes. We started doing virtual pack openings. We had bonus bags at the end of the stream to give away kills, coins, and dead dimes to our viewers and virtual gear they're going to use. Then we went into random things and just had crazy topics and kills connections and a whole lot of fun with that. We did What If Wednesdays, some scenarios. That stream was created by each and every one of you. Polls, surveys, events. We also had bold predictions on Thursday night, which was a great time. And then a 4-hour stream last night. Doesn't get any better than that. I know you guys are missing The Walking Dead, but we're going to try to be here as much as possible to make that 3-month transition go as fast as we possibly can. And we're always going to have a Walking Dead topic to talk about. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm at 30 minutes, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Have a good day. Peace.